Welcome to Falcon Update, right here on YBTV. I'm Brandon Cruz.
And I'm Charlie Jones. Today is Veterans Day, a time to remember the men and women who have fought to defend our freedom of our country. We at YBTV want to take the time to say thank you to those that have served in the different branches of the military. For your service, we are so grateful to you.
Absolutely, Jess. Thank you for your service. And in the next upcoming week, YBTV has an exciting show taking place. On next Monday, November 18th, President Kim Phipps will be joining us for KP Tonight. Rosie Shiano will be hosting, asking President Phipps a plethora of questions, along with playing a few games. The show will be taking the place of YB Tonight right after Falcon Update. You will not want to miss it.
Thank you, Rosie. With the election that occurred last week, the Office of Student Engagement hosted the Messiah Election Day programming event. OSE workers laid out snacks and drinks around Union for students to enjoy while the poll numbers went up. This was a close election, so signs were posted in Union with informative facts regarding the election. Parmer Cinema held a live NBC news broadcast to allow students to attend and capture every moment of the election. Students gathered with their favorite food and drinks and kept that close eye on the polls to predict the winner of the 2024 presidential election.
Last night, students made their way to Union for SAB Lego Bingo. Students had the chance to win various Lego sets in this latest edition of an SAB staple event, from the New York City skyline to a replica of a Vespa and many more. SAB community organizer Isabel Cates spoke on why SAB chose Legos as a theme for bingo this time around.
So when we all sat down at the beginning of the year, we looked at our themes for bingo nights for the rest of the semester. And one of the themes that we thought of was Lego Bingo, because Legos were something that we had all spent time with in our childhood. And then when we polled members of the student body, they echoed the same idea and said that Lego Bingo is something that would draw a large crowd and bring up a little bit of our childhood memories.
For more information about future bingo nights, follow SAB on Instagram at MessiahSAB.
Anna Cameron had her senior recital on Saturday, where she sang 11 pieces with the assistance of many people in the music department and her family. Many students and friends came out to see her perform. Caleb Wagers has more.
I first started this music about last semester, at the spring semester, and I work with my voice teacher, Dr. Mead, and we meet like once a week, and then we have like a recital hearing and a lot of dress rehearsals and things, and then we perform. So. It's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. Isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation? Oh no, it's just the nearness of you.
We'll be back with more Falcon Update right after the break.
We don't want our students to feel like they have to wait until they've graduated to start serving and meeting the needs of society. So we want students to have an opportunity to work on projects that meet real needs even while they're students in the program. Messiah students are exciting to work with because they understand that God has uniquely gifted them to do something, and they're excited to follow Him in that and to follow Him in their careers.
One of my best moments as a student here at Messiah was when I was traveling to Mexico with the Collaboratory.
The Collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
I learned so many amazing things about just cultural differences and how to adapt and work alongside, not just how to help someone else, but how to empower them to further their lives and also advance my academics in the process. So that is by far one of my favorite memories from Messiah.
Sort of under the impression that I needed to find like one thing that was my thing, and that there was somehow greater purpose in finding that one thing. But what I learned from studying at Messiah with a liberal arts education, with an education that really dignifies a number of pursuits, was that yes, I'm called to certain things in certain times in my life, but the adventure continues. All the things that God has given us are good things. They all can be ways in which we can further the kingdom, ways in which we can do good in our world. And so the adventure of finding which one to engage in at which time and how to do the best you can with the opportunity before you is one that we should all be enjoying, that God has given us. And that's a perspective that I credit Messiah with helping me form and helping me see.
Welcome back to Falcon Update. I'm Charlie Jones.
And I'm Brandon Cruz. And Charlie, how are you tonight? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Brandon. Thank you for asking. You know, I'm just hanging in there, getting through the rest of the semester. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Senior year for me, it's gone like that, you know. All this time with YBTV, just moving along throughout this last year. It's chaotic. I'm involved with a lot of different things, but I'm keep going, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know, we got to keep our eyes forward. So I'm excited to see what Dylan Hassinger has for us in this week's Falcon Forecast. Dylan?
Charlie and Brandon, thank you so much for the warm introduction. I'm Dylan Hassinger. Today I'm going to be giving you all here at Messiah our Falcon Forecast. Let's dive right into it. Right now we have a degree of around 62 with a high around 66. I believe that's pretty good, but we have a low of 47. So for some of you, it may depend on how to dress, but make sure you have that sweater weather ready for this fall in November with the precipitation around 0 and a dew point around 37 for the current. Let's move right into our next slide. Our Tuesday planner around 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. We are staying around that same degree with a 48 and a 47. They will still be cloudy out. The moon will still be out, but around 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. we're looking at around 52 and 53. It's very nice weather around 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. 49, 42. Let's move right on to our next slide. Our surface map. We don't really have anything to struggle with in PA, but we're still praying for all those down in Florida with Hurricane Milton. And we don't really have anything to worry about with rain-wise down up in Pennsylvania. Let's move on to the next slide. Our expected dew points. We have 24 on Tuesday, going down to 22 on Wednesday, while it is going up to 32 and 36 through Thursday and Friday, staying around a moderate of 34 on Saturday. Sun's out pretty good, good weather, 53 for both Tuesday and Wednesday, with an exact low of 30 on both Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, very nice weather, 52, 58, low of 35 and a low of 36. Saturday, though, it is going to be 61, so make sure you are dressing accordingly to the weather, whatever that looks like for you, with a low of 37, while on Sunday and Monday, we're looking around 62, 63, with a low of 46. So I believe that's a good 7-day forecast, great weather. That is all I have for Falcon Forecast at the moment. I'm Dylan Hassinger, sending it back to the desk.
Thank you, Dylan. Caitlin Mitchum is here to give you your campus calendar.
I'm Caitlin Mitchum, and here is this week's campus calendar. On Tuesday, looking for a night of worship and a space to worship God, right outside the North Campus entrance between Brethren and Church will be holding a Sabbath worship from 7 p.m. Here, are you craving some Chick-fil-A? Bring your friends to the nearest Chick-fil-A located at 219 Gettysburg Pike on Wednesday, November 13th between the hours of 4 to 8 p.m. A percentage of funds from meals purchased will be donated to health and wellness in the campus and community. To receive the promo, make sure to mention Messiah Health Nutrition and Exercise Science Club. On Thursday, Students Ministry will be hosting a sanctuary night from 6:30 to 8 p.m. in the Millard Prayer Chapel. Join Minds Matter for the Neurodiversity Fair from 6 to 8 p.m. in Jordan Klein Atrium. Learn about the support neurodiverse individuals through fun activities such as crafts, sensory tables, fidget bags, giveaway, and more. Flex the Falcon was caught blue-handed painting the colored bridge blue. Who was under the mask? Come solve this mystery on Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. on Boyer's second floor. Sign up in the teams of 4 at the OSE desk this Wednesday at 4 p.m. I hope to see you around campus at these events. For YBTV, I'm Caitlin Mitchum.
Thank you so much, Caitlin, and great job on campus calendar. Brandon, tell me, what is your dream vacation spot?
There are a lot of places in this world that I want to go. I would say chief among them is Italy, tying into a bit of my cultural heritage, being half Italian. I want to see where my ancestors came from, and just a lot of people from YBTV did cross-cultural to Italy, and I just saw all those pictures, and I was like, that looks so beautiful. I want to be there, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, for this week's Falcon on the Street, Katie Murphy went around asking students what their dream vacation is. Let's see it.
Welcome to this week's edition of Falcon on the Street. It was just 80 degrees in November, so I'm in the mood for a vacation. So let's see what other people are thinking. What's your dream destination or your dream vacation?
All right, I would love to go to Germany. I took German class in high school, and I've been taking it here, and I've just been fascinated by the history and the food and the culture, and I would just love to take my family whenever I would go.
I would be in New Zealand, and I would get like giant cloaks and hike up mountains and like try to throw a ring in a volcano. It's probably what I would do.
Probably somewhere in Switzerland, anywhere around there. I want to see the mountains and how pretty it is.
Yeah, I would really like to go to New Zealand because there's more sheep than people, and that sounds cool.
I would say that my favorite dream vacation would be to the Maldives. It looks beautiful, and I'm very into like tropical places, and the water is very clear, and that would be cool.
My dream vacation would be to go back to Switzerland and to ski in the Alps.
So dream vacation, I would say a good lesson, or I would say a good thought is it may not matter where you're at. It may depend where you're with people that care about you so much.
Those were some great ideas. For me, I want to be on a secluded island all by myself, or maybe with a couple friends or a couple people from my family. But I think that would be really fun, being near the beach. I don't know, it sounds like a great time. So that's all for this week's edition of Falcon on the Street. For YBTV, I'm Katie Murphy.
Thanks, Katie. Jessica Fannin sat down with Amy Bream, Messiah alum and CrossFit athlete, in this week's Beyond the Breaches.
Amy Bream. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. When I studied here at Messiah, it was still Messiah College. I was a commercial music major. Funny enough now, I travel as a public speaker and I compete in CrossFit. I was born with something called PFFD, so my femur bone never fully developed. My parents didn't actually know I would be born that way until after I popped out. So a little bit of a surprise there, but when I was 1, they took me to the local hospital, got fitted with a prosthesis and learned how to walk, just went from there. So it was pretty normal. I didn't think about my leg very much. I just kind of figured it out as we went along. That's how my whole family took it. I'm the youngest of 4 siblings. It's funny being here on campus. If anyone knew me in school and now they're talking to me, it's kind of a feels like a 180 situation because I wouldn't normally be in anything athletic.
Bream started kickboxing in Nashville after moving there in 2014. She eventually started working at the boxing gym as their operations director teaching classes.
So it opened up this world of what else have I been saying no to that I can actually do.
Eventually, she moved into competing in CrossFit competitions.
At the end of the day, I can talk about getting in the best shape possible and, you know, overcoming hard things, but the reality is none of it matters without Jesus. And, you know, I said adapt is one of my mantras, but also live by example. And that's been just a huge part. I found that you can talk about Jesus all day long, but if you don't reflect him and if you don't have a relationship with people, it usually falls on deaf ears. But I wouldn't have a good attitude if it wasn't for the people around me. And I like hardcore stress that as much as relationship with Jesus, consistency, like hard work, all of that stuff, but also be so aware of who you surround yourself with. And my siblings and my like best friends, I allow them to speak into my life because if I didn't, I'd be the worst. I think that's like true of everyone to an extent.
That's all for this week's Beyond the Breaches. For YBTV, I'm Jessica Fannin.
Wow, what a phenomenal story. Thank you so much, Jess. After the break, James and Libby have your updates on Messiah Sports. Stay tuned.
Being able to talk about faith and Christianity and what that means is important to me because working in a secular environment, a lot of times questions of ethics and morality come into play. And I think having a faith-based education really equips people and our students to be able to go out into the workforce and be able to serve their communities ethically and morally and be confident about who they are in their Christianity.
The MSAT at Messiah University is this 2-year master degree that's also paired with students that will be completing the 5-year accelerated MSAT, completing their bachelor's and their master's. We have experienced, dedicated, passionate athletic training faculty that are ready to teach the next generation of athletic trainers, to teach our students how to integrate their faith into their role as a healthcare provider. And we have a strong and growing list of clinical experiences that will allow students to experience athletic training in a variety of settings.
Messiah has helped me see my career anew because of the multiple opportunities that I have on campus to travel with the career centers. And so because of that, I've been able to obtain an internship through Messiah, and that's just amazing. I never would have gotten that opportunity without Messiah.
I am so grateful for the ways that Messiah has helped me see my career anew. Thanks to my education and this journey at Messiah, I was able to achieve my goal of being a professor. And so every day I get to share my experiences, my faith, and my education with students.
I've always had a strong love of the business world, but I always wanted to keep on growing my faith. And what Messiah helped me do was pair my faith with business so I could be a Christian in the workplace. The professors were role models of how to do that. What I learned in class taught me the interpersonal skills and the hard skills. Take two things that I loved, my faith and business, and pair that together moving forward.
Absolutely filthy goal there. Boom goes the dynamite.
Welcome back to YBTV Sports. I'm Libby Zimmerman.
And I'm James Hellman.
It was a championship weekend here at Messiah as 3 of the Falcons' fall sports teams hosted hosted the MAC Commonwealth Championship contest on Saturday against York College.
However, before we get into the championship contest, let's take some time to recap some of the other action that Messiah Athletics were up to this week.
Messiah Swimming was in action at home against the River Valley Hawks of Susquehanna University on Saturday. The women dominated the meet, winning 133-71, with the Falcons picking up the 6 first-place finishes on the day. While the men's meet went down to the wire, the men led 92-89 going into the final relay, with the Falcons needing to take the first win of the meet, which they did, securing a 103-95 victory.
Messiah Wrestling was also in action, traveling to Ursinus College for the Rochick Rumble. The Falcons placed third out of the 15 teams competing in the Rumble, scoring 119 points as a team. The strong performance, which saw 10 podium finishers, was highlighted by Keegan Demarest, who finished in first place in the 165-pound weight bracket.
Messiah men's basketball opened their season at home in the annual Messiah men's tip-off tournament on Friday. The Falcons played against the Maritime Marine, dropping the close contest 59-51 in the first game of the season. The Falcons were back in action in the tournament consolation game on Saturday afternoon against Wilson College. The Falcons led at the half, but after Wilson came out firing to start the second, the Falcons would fall just short 69-62. The team is back in action Friday at Shenandoah University.
Now that we are all caught up with some of the early contests for the winter sports, we are going to move into some of the championship action, first with Messiah Field Hockey. Messiah Field Hockey was the #1 seed in the MAC Commonwealth, meaning once again the road to the championship went through Grantham. After breezing by Alvernia in the semifinal, the Spartans of York College came to town for the third straight final between the two opponents. Messiah won the previous championship battles with the Spartans, as well as the regular season matchup this year at York in overtime. But it was the Spartans who finally got their revenge, winning 1-0 in overtime and ending the Falcons' streak of 16 straight MAC Field Hockey titles.
Messiah Women's Soccer also hosted the MAC Commonwealth Championship against York College on Saturday. Much like the first matchup between the two teams this season, which the Falcons won 3-0, Messiah was on the front foot right from the start, with Bella Truzeau getting the scoring started in under 5 minutes. The Falcons would score 3 more times in the first half, taking it to a 4-0 lead into the break. The defense would stand firm for the entire second half and lead the Falcons to their 6th straight conference championship. The team now goes into the NCAA tournament as the #5 team in the country in Division III, and are looking to build on back-to-back Final Four appearances and win the national championship for the 7th time in program history.
We'll have a men's soccer recap coming up for you in just a bit, but first, let's get into the highlights in this week's edition of the Falcon 4.
We'll start our highlights off with women's volleyball, who traveled to Eastern University on Tuesday to compete in a thrilling matchup. The teams were tied 1-1 with a back-and-forth start in the first set until a pivotal moment from Mackenzie Adams. As you can see, starting off with 10-9 lead, and just looking at the recap here, you can see that Erin Eby just a dime right to Emma Swartz, who gets it to Mackenzie Adams and just gets it right off the block there, scoring another point, bringing them up to an 11-9 lead. Adams killed the trajectory of the third set, bringing the Falcons up to an 11-9 lead. The momentum continued throughout the third set, ultimately leading to a 25-22 victory for the team. The Falcons would go on to win the matchup 3-2, securing the 1 seed in the MAC championships.
Messiah Field Hockey was in action Wednesday at home in the MAC Commonwealth semifinal against the Alvernia Golden Wolves. The Falcons dominated this matchup, with Haley Womer adding to the damage with this nice goal. Here we see the ball finds Womer in the middle. She's going to come around with the stick handle, turn it to the backhand, and fire it past the keeper. Not expecting that one. Would bring the lead up to 5-0 just before the half. There goes the celebration. We're going to turn back into it. Haley Womer, the ball just kind of finds her stick, 1-2 stick handles, and goes to the backhand, slots it past the keeper. And for Womer, that would be a hat trick that led the day for the Falcons, who cruised to a 7-1 victory. Falcons would fall to York in the championship game, but their season is not over, as they received an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. They will host Roger Williams at home at 4 on Wednesday in the first round.
At Shoemaker Field this past Saturday, the Messiah women's soccer team hosted the Spartans of York College in the MAC Commonwealth Conference Championship. The Falcons took an early lead in the first half with several beautiful goals, such as this next one from Brittany Laird. The ball starts off with Julia Martin, who tries to find a hole but bounces it right off the defender, passing it to Caitlin Laird, who just finds an opening right into the goal. Taking a look at that recap again, you can see how she just really pounds it right off that defender, and just that ball just finds Caitlin Laird's feet, and she just nonchalantly gets it into that goal right there, bringing the Falcons up to a 2-0 lead. Laird's goal would be the second of 4 goals in the first half of the game, leading the Falcons to a 4-0 sweep to claim their 6th straight and 21st conference championship in program history. It also secured the team a spot in NCAA National Championship, which is set to begin this coming weekend.
Staying at Shoemaker Field for our final highlight, the Messiah men's soccer team also hosted the Spartans of York College in the MAC Commonwealth Conference Championship in the final game on Saturday. After a scoreless first half, the teams traded goals 5 minutes apart in the second, setting up for a dramatic finish and this moment from Patrick Lee. So here, Josh Bradiger driving with the ball just under 6 minutes, going to find Lee in the box, takes one extra touch off the defender and finds the bottom left corner as they run off celebrating into the corner to take the 2-1 lead. We're going to take another look at that here. Josh Bradiger, perfectly weighted ball to Patrick Lee there, composes her in the box, takes that one extra touch there, finds a little bit of luck off the defender's leg, but finds the back of the net to take the lead. Lee's goal would seal up the conference championship and sends the Falcons to the NCAA tournament. The Falcons will look to add to their NCAA record 11 national championships, hoping to cap off the season with title number 12.
Another great week of highlights in the books here at YBTV Sports. We want to congratulate all of the fall teams on their success so far this season as they continue into the national tournaments.
And don't forget, women's volleyball is looking to add another MAC championship to the Messiah Athletics trophy case as they are the #1 seed for the women's volleyball tournament. A win for the women would mark the first MAC championship in school history for the volleyball program.
Finally, let's go back to men's soccer MAC final, which YBTV Sports was able to cover firsthand. The game was back and forth and also included a big milestone within the storied program. Caleb Kukin has the story.
Soccer once again found themselves in the MAC championship game. The Falcons battled the Spartans of York College to ultimately capture their 6th straight MAC title. I spoke with juniors Patrick Lee and Jordan Gilman after the game to see what this victory meant to the team.
It was awesome. I think this year it meant a little bit more because we had a little bit more losses than we usually have. So we kind of had to win the tournament, which makes it feel a lot better.
I think in the past we might have been a little entitled to the MAC. We thought we could just come in and we can just win every game. But we had to fight for this game. We had to fight all conference, and yeah, I'm proud of how the teams performed.
The Falcons won behind 2 goals, the first being this one by sophomore Sam Phipps. After the Spartans answered back with a goal of their own, Patrick Lee netted the game winner with 5 minutes left.
I was just excited to have another week with the guys. I think that's just what went through my head. Nothing much other than that, just joy, elation, just get more time with the guys and the older guys that I want to hang around with more after season. So, yeah, I was just super excited.
To add to the excitement of the night, this victory was a historic milestone for Coach Brad McCarty as it marked win number 300 for him.
As Coach McCarty is celebrating his 300th career win.
Now the team has to dial in the excitement of the night and prepare for the NCAA tournament.
Every game is a big game for us, and we're going to prepare for the team that we play on Saturday and hope that we can make it to Sunday, but nothing changes.
Make sure to keep up with Messiah men's soccer as they begin their journey in the NCAA tournament this weekend. For YBTV Sports, I'm Caleb Kukin.
What a great moment for men's soccer as they got to celebrate a huge achievement for Coach McCarty and all of the success that he has brought to this program.
It really is, James. Thanking you for watching Falcon Update, but don't go anywhere. Danielle Leaphart is hosting YB Tonight after the break.
Hello, Messiah, and welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Danielle Leppert. For tonight's show, we will have Olivia McCurdy, who works in the admissions office here at Messiah. After that, Hannah Taylor will come on to sing for us. But before we get to that, a few weeks ago, the YBTV team had a karaoke night to practice our camera and directing skills while having some fun. Here are the highlights from that night.
I went blew it, all sky high. She won't even spare a passing glance. Oops, all just because I ripped my pin.
I'm just Ken. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blonde fragility? And now the end is near. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain.
Oh, 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 get in the action. Feel the attraction. Cut my hair to my head. Oh, 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 wanna be free and man, I feel like a woman.
I think one of the major distinctives of a Messiah University nursing degree is our Christ preeminent approach to our teaching. We really focus on teaching students that they are the hands and feet of Christ. At Messiah University, we offer a very robust menu of nursing programs. We have our 4-year traditional BSN program in person here on campus, and then we offer a variety of online nursing programs. For example, we have the RN to BSN degree completion, 2 master's tracks, and then we have the dual degree, MSN, MBA degree, as well as 2 Doctor of Nursing practice tracks. And then we also offer postmaster's certificates in nursing administration and nursing education. We have maintained and sustained a very high NCLEX pass rate, the National Council Licensing Exam for registered nurses. As well, we are fully accredited by the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education. We also prepare our students here at Messiah University by introducing them to a variety of clinical scenarios in our simulation labs. And so students have an opportunity to practice clinical, hands-on care before they encounter that experience in the clinical setting. Many of our nursing faculty are still practicing as a nurse clinician in the specialty in which they teach. And that's true at the graduate level and the undergraduate level. We've been teaching nursing students at Messiah University for more than 3 decades. And over those years, our Messiah graduates have earned a stellar reputation in our community. They are known for their compassionate caring, for their expert clinical skills, and really importantly, for their ethical approach to care. And so our community agencies and our clinical partners really value Messiah graduates.
I am so grateful for the ways that Messiah has helped me see my career anew. Thanks to my education and this journey at Messiah, I was able to achieve my goal of being a professor. And so every day I get to share my experiences, my faith, and my education with students.
Welcome back. I'm here with Olivia McCurdy. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, we're just going to start off and ask you some questions. So you work in the admissions here at Messiah. So what is your role in admissions?
So it's kind of a two-parter. I am a work study, so I work in the office, but then kind of under that same umbrella, I also am a core leader for the ambassador program.
Okay, very cool. How long have you had this job? Is it more this semester, or have you had it for years before?
Yeah, so this is my first semester actually working in the office. I did work here over the summer, so that kind of gave me you know, a little sneak peek into the office life, and then I decided to work here during the semester, and then that's also part of being a core leader working in the office.
Awesome, very cool. Can you explain what an ambassador is and what your role is and just different things that you do for your job?
Yeah, so being an ambassador, we represent Messiah and we get to like give tours and interact with prospective students and families. And then the office part of it is definitely more of like the visit prep. So we get to like make the name tags and like put the like schedules together for our perspectives and like just trying to take them to their different meetings around campus. So we get to see them throughout the day and really just interact with them kind of while they're here.
Yeah, that's really cool. I remember when I would tour the school when I came before coming to Messiah, and I would love everything that they would do. I know you were telling me earlier about putting the names on the parking spots. I know that just made me feel really special, and it makes it feel more personal in general. So yeah. Now, do you incorporate your major into your job at all? And if you'd like to explain like what your major is and how that is.
So I'm a psychology major. I feel like psychology can be incorporated into kind of any aspect, you know, any job. So I definitely have used the like, you know, the social interactions part of it and like learning about people and kind of how to best interact with them, you know, in my job and just make those connections. And it's also valuable because I've learned how to really understand where other people are coming from and how to like just kind of never judge a book by its cover and like never make assumptions. And that's definitely been really valuable to me in working in the office because I've really learned to just genuinely interact with people with an open mind.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you were able to have the opportunity to learn that and be able to practice that before going into the real world.
Yeah.
So, yes. So this is your senior year. You're actually graduating in December. Very exciting. Do you have any plans, like post-college plans yet, or have anything in mind of things you'd like to do?
Yeah, that's like the $1,000,000 question. You know, like what are you doing after graduation? So short term, probably for the next year or so, I'm looking to stay in the general area, probably work just kind of an entry-level field, maybe as like a behavioral tech or kind of something similar, really just to get some experience. And then a little bit, probably a year or so, the goal will be grad school. And then long term, the goal is to like be practicing like clinical psychologist. So yeah, but right now I'm kind of going with the flow. We'll see where things take me.
Yes, very exciting. Good luck with that. I hope all of that plans out however God has that in mind for you. So, do you have any fun stories about any tours that you've taken today? I saw a tour group today, and it's just really fun seeing them because we were all in their shoes at one point.
Yeah.
So do you have any fun stories you'd like to share?
Let's see. There's so many good tours that I've given. Really, I don't know about like funny necessarily, but there's just the interactions that I have with some families, like, you know, some of them, it's just so authentic and like we just bond so quickly, and like by the end we're all like kind of picking at each other a little bit and like making jokes. You know, so I always appreciate those moments when like I can like connect with the family a little bit more in that way. But yeah, it's the variety of people that we see too come through is like, that's what's really exciting about the job. That's one of my favorite parts.
Oh, that's awesome. So with you being a Messiah ambassador, has that made you feel more connected to the school, learning more about the school in order having to give tours? Do you feel more connected?
For sure, yeah. Because a large part of it also is working and coordinating with other departments and offices around campus. So like I've already gotten to know faculty in so many other like departments. I've gotten to know, you know, just the ladies down in like the registrar's office and like enrollment offices and like financial aid. Like I love getting to know people and like getting to know the admissions counselors and just like our whole team. Like we have an amazing team. So yeah, it has made me feel more connected to kind of the side of things that you don't see in like the offices of, you know, people that you might not interact with on a regular basis. I've learned a lot more about the school too.
That's really cool. So how do you connect with the people that you work with, whether that be faculty members, people who work here, and this new students and families who are coming into tour?
Yeah, so with the office and within the office, we all have such a good connection. It's a really good balance. We have an amazing team between like just the whole office with like all of our work studies and the counselors and everyone there, but then also like our core team for ambassadors. Like they're great. I love them all. We just kind of get to know each other through daily conversation and like keeping up with what's going on in each of our lives.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to have those people that, you know, they're kind of like, oh, like how was this? And like, you know, how was your tour? Like you just get to like share a little bit about, you know, who you are and your experiences with them, and they really care. And then with other families, getting to share your story to people who like you've never met, and like you have an hour or so with them and you get to just ask them questions, and like you just really get to be genuinely curious about them and find some common ground.
Yes, that's so fun. It always makes it a million times better when you get along with the people that you work with, and it just makes it so fun. So I'm glad that you're having that experience.
It is. They're great.
Why, actually going off of that, why should someone become an ambassador and work for admissions?
Yes, okay, I love this question. So I honestly, like when I first applied for to be an ambassador, I wasn't, like I enjoyed my time here, but like it wasn't, you know, I was like, I didn't know what I was getting into and like what I was going to be doing exactly. So it really was a way for me to kind of push myself a little bit out of my comfort zone, because I knew that it involved like giving tours, and I was like, I don't want to talk to like big groups of people. Like that scared me a lot. So I used it as a way to share my experience, because I do, you know, I like doing that, but it also is a little bit of a way to challenge myself. So why become an ambassador? Like if you love Messiah, or if you really just like chatting with people and like getting to know people, I'd say that's a good reason, and we love to have everyone, so definitely apply.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and answering all of my questions. We will be right back after this break with Hannah Taylor, who will join me and talk about her musical theater major, play a game, and sing for us. We will be right back after this break.
What drew me to Messiah was when I was looking for graduate programs, that it was real people and they were welcoming me to the program. They were interested in who I was as a person, they were interested in my career goals, and they truly just welcomed me before I was even a student.
At Messiah University, in our graduate program of Business and Leadership, we offer an MBA with various concentrations, a Master of Arts in Healthcare Leadership, a Master of Arts in Strategic Leadership, and various graduate certificates. All of our graduate programs in Business and Leadership are accredited by ACBSP, which is the main governing body for business programs, both at the graduate and undergraduate level.
So I found that the online instruction was high quality. Definitely a good experience, and an experience that maintained community, even though we were separated by geography sometimes of considerable distances.
Our online courses are capped at 15. This enables students to really develop a deep connection with faculty as they're being mentored throughout the program.
They brought their business experience to every single class. So our professors are teaching us, this is what it's like in the real world, and this is how you can take all the stuff out of this book, all this leadership theory, and practically apply it in the workplace.
I would highly recommend Messiah's program
because I feel very cared for by the faculty. They do a great job of making you apply your faith to where you're working. The MBA program is a good reminder that you can be a faithful business professional, and I just feel like I'm becoming a better person and I'm going to be a better future leader because of this program.
Hello and welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm here with Hannah Taylor. Hannah, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. So we're just going to start out with a couple questions, and then we have a little game where you're going to guess what song we have for you. And then after that, we'll set you up and you will sing a song for us.
Alrighty.
So going straight into the questions, how long have you been in doing musical theater? I know that's your major here, but how long have you been doing musical theater?
I think I've been doing it since 3rd grade, and then I consecutively did it when I started middle school because they had the shows and everything. But yeah.
Very cool. What made you interested in joining musical theater? Was there like one specific moment where you're like, this looks really cool, I really want to do this? Or did it just kind of happen?
That's what, at my church, back at home in Rochester, New York, we had a Christmas show all the time, and so all the kids from Kids Church were able to be in the Christmas show, and like we'd go throughout like our different roles of like starting like the little kids were like the animals and everything, and like the show would change every year. We were telling the story of like, you know, how Jesus came to be and everything. So that's what I started with, was kind of acting in that, and then I moved on to doing it in school, so yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that you had that experience. That's such a fun thing to do, like doing the same show, but then growing and being able to do different aspects of that show is just so cool and so fun to see. What has your favorite musical that, like, what is your favorite musical that you've done, and what was your role in that?
My junior year of high school, we did Addams Family, and so that was a really fun show. I really enjoyed that. I was Alice Beinecke in it, which is a newer character that no one really knows unless you know the musical, but it was a lot of fun, so yeah.
That's really cool. So what is your favorite musical, and why is, whatever your favorite musical is, why is it your favorite?
I love Anastasia. I grew up with it, and I would always watch it at my grandma's house. I really love the music and the story, and yeah, so.
Yes, and you're actually singing from Anastasia tonight, so I'm very excited to see how that'll be, so I'm sure you're going to do amazing. Why would you recommend that someone joins the musical theater department here at Messiah?
I recommend joining it because they're just so welcoming and so supportive, and that's definitely something I looked for in a college because like it can get very competitive, and I've had fair witness of it in school, and so I just really loved how welcoming they were, and like they're always there to support you whether you do bad or good, so they're always there, and they'll like everyone will help with everything. They're just so supportive, so it's really nice.
Oh, that's great. We love a supportive community. I'm so glad that you're finding that here and that everything's going well for you here at Messiah. So what has your favorite memory been from the musical theater department here so far?
I think I was in the Shoeless Joe cabaret this semester, and it was a lot of fun because it was the first time they kind of had it in the black box, so it was definitely a bigger production this time around, and it was just so much fun. And then like all the rehearsals, and we're just goofing around trying to figure out things because it's a cabaret, so there's some like improv that we're figuring out throughout the process just to like set things in stone, and so it was a lot of fun.
So I have not seen Shoeless Joe. I know you said you were doing things about improv. What were your rehearsals like for Shoeless Joe? Were there a lot of improv with doing things?
It was, I mean, we were given songs to learn, and then we also given choreo to then learn, but we had to weave all the songs into a story, and so the cabaret was like Lost in Oz, and it was like a mix between like Alice in Wonderland and then The Wizard of Oz, so it was like really cool how like we had different songs, and so like a bunch of the improv aspect was like, you know, learning how to like mix all the songs in together into one story, and like really connecting with other characters that aren't normally in the same show as you, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. Now I really want to see it. I'll have to catch it when they do it again. That sounds amazing. So tonight you'll be singing In My Dreams from Anastasia. What does that song mean to you, if you want to talk about it? I know you said you watched it growing up, but if there's a deeper meaning, I'd love to know.
I really like it because, I mean, other than it helping me get into Messiah and stuff, because I used it for my audition process, it really, I mean, it connects to me because, like, in her song, she's, like, telling, like, from her past and, like, all that she remembers and, like, this dream that she has to, like, find her one memory, like, telling her to go to Paris. And so I love connecting to it because, like, I mean, my dream obviously is to make it like big in theater and hopefully be on Broadway in New York City sometime. So it's nice singing to it because it just, like, you know, really shows off my passion of, like, reaching towards a dream. So yeah, it's nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. Is there anything else that I missed that you would like to talk about, whether it's the musical theater department or just yourself in general?
Well, I mean, whenever you get the chance, like, come see the shows because they're a lot of fun and everyone works so hard, and it's a great community to be with. You know, come say hi. We're always welcome. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We're now going to have a little game for you. We are going to play the first couple seconds of a famous musical, and it's your job to guess the songs as fast as you can. If you need a little bit of time, that's okay. We can play a little bit more for you, so don't stress out. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Maybe every second now. This is weird. So sorry about this. Do you have any other plans for the rest of the night?
I'm actually going to go back. They're having Tech Week for the next play coming up, Tartuffe. So I'm going back because I'm helping out with costuming for it. So.
Very cool. How has costuming been for Tartuffe?
Oh, it's really cool. Learning, like, more stuff behind the scenes that I'm not
Disconnect.
Because obviously I'm more on, like, the actor side of the besides, like, behind the scenes. So it's cool that we're learning, like, behind the scenes of theater and, like, what really puts into it to make a show happen. So yeah.
That's really cool. Have you done a lot of tech things before, besides just, like, acting?
I haven't done a whole lot. I know my last year of high school, I definitely I helped out with set design and stuff like that, but that's about it.
Very cool. All right, I think we have it ready now. So we can go ahead and try it again if you'd like to play the first song that we have. Okay, well, we don't need to worry about that. We're having some technical difficulties. Sorry about that. We would like to have you set up to sing your song, so we can go ahead and cut to break. We'll be right back after this break, and Hannah will get ready, and she will sing for us.
Alrighty.
When I visited Messiah, I loved the community here, and it made me feel really welcome, and the applied health science major was the perfect fit for what I wanted to study.
We're training students at Messiah to be leaders in the allied health professions. They're going to make an incredible impact on the health of others all over the world. Our students can choose concentrations in pre-professional, pre-physical and occupational therapy, pre-athletic training, and in exercise science.
I did an internship where I was able to shadow some strength and conditioning sessions with our men's soccer team, and that was really a meaningful experience for me to apply what I know.
All of the professors I had were really focused on integrating Christ into what we did in the classroom and reminded us of the way that God created us and how we can see that in other people as we go on from here.
And then we also teach them ways to interact with their future clients, patients, athletes in ways that not only are focused on writing effective prescription or rehabilitation, but really seek to support people in their journey, mind, body, and spirit.
In my senior seminar class, we have had the opportunity to work with a client as a conditioning consultant, and I've found this experience really valuable because I've been able to put into practice what I've learned into class into a practical situation.
Our students have a real advantage. In many cases, they've had additional training above and beyond what's necessary to gain entry into graduate programs.
So I'm really grateful for the opportunity that this program has offered me.
All right, Hannah, take it away.
They said I was found by the side of a road. There were tracks all around. It had recently snowed. In the darkness and cold, with the wind in the trees, a girl with no name and no memories but these. Frame against a window, sheets upon a bed, terrifying nurses whispering overhead. Call the child Anya, give the child a hat. I don't know a thing before that. Traveling the back road, sleeping in the wood, taking what I needed, working when I could, keeping up my courage, foolish as it seems, at night all alone in my dreams. In my dreams, shadows call, there's a light at the end of a hall. Then my dreams fade away, but I know it all will come back one day. I dream of a city beyond all compare. Is it Paris? Paris, a beautiful river bridge by a square, and I hear a voice whisper, I'll meet you right there in Paris. Paris. You don't know what it's like not to know who you are, to have lived in the shadows and traveled this far. I've seen flashes of fire, heard the echo of screams, but I still have this faith in the truth of my dreams. In my dreams, it's so real. My heart has so much to reveal. My dreams seem to say, don't be afraid to go on. Don't give up hope, come what may. I know it all will come back one day.
Hannah, you did amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show and singing for us. That is all we have for tonight's show. We will be back next week with President Phipps for our KP Tonight show, so be sure to tune in for that. That is all we have for tonight. Good night, Messiah.